$2.80 in comps, or a free breakfast.
So you bet big when the boss is watching, bet small when he's not. You take a lot of breaks. The meter's running all the time. When your boss takes a break, you go take a break. You get up. Well, every 15 minutes out of every hour, you're going to the restroom, you're going over and making a phone call, you're doing this. Meter's still running, you're still earning comps.
Once you get on one of these games, you're going to see that most people like to bet more than one number.
Knowing which games give you the best odds and which ones to avoid enables gamblers to extend their play for as long as possible.
1.41 advantage that don't pass.
Change 100.
Blackjack is the game that will always be beatable under certain circumstances because of the nature of the game. A mathematician would call it a game of dependent trials, which means what's happened in the past influences what's going to happen in the future. That's what card counting is predicated on. When we've seen something come out of the deck, we know what's left in the deck, and what's going to happen next is dependent on what's happened prior. There's a good rule of thumb that you should try to play with the fewest number of decks possible. So when the dealer is shuffling, he or she is not dealing cards. All right, so you're sitting at a game, you're still having fun, but you're getting fewer hands per hour. The games that I would advise people to avoid are the fastest games, the speed games, which tend to be the mechanical games. Speed kills in Las Vegas. Speed kills in gambling. The easier something is to do, the more it's going to cost you to do it.
You don't want me no more.
You got another 20?
Avoid Keno at all costs. Let me give you one specific example. The 15 spot. Very popular ticket here in Nevada. There's only two problems with the ticket. Problem number one, it's 426 billion to 1 that you're going to hit it. Problem number two, nobody in the state of Nevada since the inception of the game has ever hit it.
Always trying to increase their clientele, the casinos even offer free lessons on how to play.
Put them down where you know that they're yours. If these bets are on the table when a 7 was rolled, come out, roll, or the points established, those bets lose. Win on 8 when you bet on 8, win on 6 when you bet on 6. If you're on the table when a 7's rolled, you lose them. Now,
while the casinos may show you how to play, they certainly don't tell you how to win. The edge, no matter how small, will always favor the house.
10 easy. 10.
Visitors gamble for three reasons. One is that they don't really know that the odds are that bad against them. Two is they all foster that hope of catching lightning in a bottle. If you don't play, you can't win. Three is that people actually enjoy the activity. It is, gambling done properly and kept within limits is a very tantalizing activity.
Gambling in moderation can be harmless entertainment, but gambling fever can push people to go to extremes for that next bet.
I was down at the Horseshoe, and the gentleman blew his last bet and pulled his false teeth out and put them on the pass line wanting to bet his teeth. Of course, we didn't take the bet.
Right now, we do have an artificial eye hanging around the organization somewhere. We felt compelled to make a loan, and the customer didn't redeem the item, so now we own it. In the jewelry department here, as you can see, we have a number of fine watches. It's not uncommon for us to loan and sell Rolex watches on a regular basis. Wedding sets, diamond engagement rings, and the like. We have a large assortment of guitars. Musical instruments in general are a big business for us in Las Vegas in particular because a large number of musicians reside and work here.
Since the beginning, the casinos have been expertly convincing players that they are just one roll of the dice away from that $1 million payoff. Coming up next, cheaters in action. And an inside look at a Showgirl review.
The race is on to build the biggest, fattest speed machine the Junkyard has ever seen. With engines revving and tempers flaring, one mistake could spell disaster.
Oh my God!
Junkyard Wars, Monday at 8 on TLC.
Made from only fresh oranges, not from concentrate. Bursting with all the goodness of life. Tropicana Pure Premium.
The new, faster than ever Lexus GS 430. Pace yourself.
With Turf Builder Plus 2, it's so easy. In late spring, I put it in my spreader. A couple days later, the weeds are looking sick and the lawn's looking green. They say the best weed control you can have is to have a healthy lawn. With Scott's Turf Builder Plus 2, it's so easy.
The prince isn't charming.
You're a monster!
The beauty isn't sleeping.
Wake up! What?
The ogre is the hero.
You definitely need some Tic Tacs or something, because your breath stinks!
And fairy tales will never be the same.
Man, isn't this romantic?
Mike Myers, Eddie Murphy, Cameron Diaz, John Lithgow.
What kind of night are you?
One of a kind. Shrek, rated PG. Starts May 18th everywhere.
Remember when you had everything you needed to go wherever your imagination could take you? Shouldn't you feel the same way about the internet? You can with the AT&T 7-7 offer. Get unlimited internet access and long distance together. Only $7 a month gives you AT&T WorldNet service with better connections and the fastest logon times, plus 7 cents a minute long distance all day, every day. Call now to unleash the possibilities. The AT&T 7-7 offer. Imagine that.
Erupting, sliding, shaking, scurrying, swirling, shredding, smashing, and crashing onto GLC. At 8, it's the ultimate 10 natural disasters.
It's just a repulsive thought.
Then we'll correct a dangerous tornado misconception.
People taking shelter under overpasses will be pulled right out of there.
And at 10, the ultimate 10 natural wonders.
I actually think the most natural wonder of all is the fact that there is life.
An exhilarating evening of extraordinary television. Tonight on TLC.
You said it was an angel. What would you do with wings if you came face to face?
What if Anselm really did see an angel?
Not a word of this is to leave these grounds.
With a miracle.
Anselm's transformation is the holiest thing that has ever happened around here. Shut up, James. Anselm is a freak.
Some of the brothers are taking sides against you.
Why have you confined Anselm to his cell?
Because I said so.
A Question of Faith, a film by Tim Disney, rated PG-13.
Is there a better way to read the news? A smarter way to find stories that matter and get your blood pumping. A faster way that gives you control so you can explore the things you want to know and discover some things you didn't expect to find. Is there a better way to read the news? The redesigned Chicago Tribune.
Oh, rats. Oh, man.
Magicians have always been well loved in Vegas as entertainers.
I think I know how to bring them back. Watch.
There is another kind of magician, however. One whose tricks are solely for his own personal gain. Casinos spend millions of dollars annually trying to eliminate him. The cheater.
This customer betting big money, this customer betting dollars. You're going to see this customer's right hand take a card off the game, this customer's left hand take a card off the game. Under the table, they switch cards. He adds the good card back, he adds the weak card here, and they protect the big hand. The gentleman between them is what's called a blocker. He's just stopping anyone from behind them from seeing those guys switch the cards under the table.
George Joseph is the director of surveillance at Bally's. A former magician, Joseph knows how to spot a suspicious move.
This is an old technique. It looks like I'm shuffling the cards when in fact nothing's moving. And the cards are still in order and nothing moved. Evidence of a misspent youth, right? And I'm going to let you see how it happens. I'm going to leave half the cards face up and half face down so that you can see what's called a false shuffle. Obviously, you would never shuffle cards face up and face down. But watch the cards on the left being pushed through the cards on the right and nothing moves.
Joseph comes from a long line of gamblers.
My grandmother was an old Arab woman. didn't speak very much English, very guttural Arabic. Never went to school a day in her life, couldn't read or write. And we used to gamble at my house all the time. But the thing was, she cheated. She would carry her rosary in one hand, and if we would play gin, she'd have her cards in the other hand. Suppose she had 50 points against her, she'd only say 30. And if you questioned her, then she'd look at the rosary and say, "Ana nsalli." In Arabic, it means, "Oh, I was praying." In this room, we tape record virtually everything in the main room.
In a secret room at Bally's, Joseph oversees a state-of-the-art security system that records every movement in the casino, every second of the day. The surveillance system is called the Eye in the Sky. In the casino, no move goes undetected.
When we see a customer come in and he bets small, and works his way up, and every time he makes the right move, it's at the right time, that's when we become suspicious. And all we do at that point is watch to see when you're cheating. There's too many times when secret knowledge coincides with the big bet.
Each time a cheater is caught, the tape is saved. Joseph and other surveillance personnel studied the moves, always looking for new ways to spot a cheater.
All right, we're going to show you just a cross-section of some of the things that we catch on videotape. Certain customers cheating other customers trying to cheat the house. And you'll see that this customer comes to the cage and he gives the girl 20 $5 tokens from the slot machines. And she gives him a $100 bill and watch him switch the bill. He switches it for a $10 bill and claims that she didn't give him enough money. And watch as he picks up the 100, he puts both bills together now and sort of holds them up to like he's looking through the bill. Let me show you the eventual outcome of that. Here's the customer that switched the bill, and here comes security, and they snatch him up and take him away. When the girl counted down her bankroll, she was $90 short.
Slot machines require a completely different, more mechanical means of cheating.
Here's an old technique for cheating in the slot machines called stringing, and you'll see that this customer is actually just attaching a string to a coin with a piece of tape. This guy's pretty stupid. He should have done this at home. But he puts it in the slot machine and just keeps lifting it up and down on the coin acceptor, and it registers coins in that don't actually come in. This next thing is called a light device. There's a light on the inside of a slot machine that counts every coin passing. He inserts a light up the slot machine, and his light touches our light and in effect blinds our light so that coins pass without being counted. In 15 minutes they stole $1,500 from us on a 50-cent machine.
Joseph's eagle eye comes from knowing all of the moves himself.
It's like a concert pianist watching another concert pianist. You appreciate it, but you understand what they're up to.
Sometimes it's the dealer that the casino has to watch.
This is an old-time technique called dealing seconds. I'm not going to be dealing from the top of the pack. Take a look at the card. You'll see the ace on the top of the pack. If I don't want to deal that card to you, I just don't deal from the top of the deck, and the ace stays right there. Now, we combat that two ways. One is with the camera overhead, which allows us to look down at the back logo of the card, and the second thing is the logo on the card. If I'm not dealing from the top of the deck, I never let you see the top card. You may think that you do, but you don't. But watch what happens when I let you see the logo. You'll see that the logo never moves, which means the card is not coming from the top of the pack. And that's all we look for, is to make sure the card came from the top of the pack.
Cheating in the casinos can take many other forms.
Now watch this particular dice switch, because this is the one that they use more often in casinos and in private games. Watch the green dice come in and the red dice go out, but the hands are clean, the dice are gone. Now, in fact, I'm throwing them, and I got lucky and caught this pocket. I'll watch again. You'll see the red dice come in, the green dice go out, and the dice are gone. Now, they were a special pocket. I'm not here to teach anybody to steal, so I didn't bring the pocket to teach people to steal. Magicians call it a top-it. Gamblers call it a web. Shoplifters call it a whiz pocket. A shoplifter walks into a store and sees two items and looks at one and puts it back down, but he has this one stolen already.
But the obvious question is that when you switch dice, what would you bring into the game? And I guess the first kind of gaffed dice or bad cubes that someone thinks about are loaded dice. And so I'm going to give you an example of what loaded dice are and what they look like. A loaded cube simply means that there's extra weight added to certain sides so that the opposite side will show up. Now this cube is not loaded, and you see it comes to a nice smooth stop here in the caliper. But watch what happens when I put a cube in the caliper that has extra weight added to it. In this case, there's gold and platinum loads added, and watch how awkward that looks because there's extra weight on one of the sides. Now, if you take a look, I mean, what's the advantage of putting weight in? And that's so that you can make it roll certain numbers more often than not. Here's an example of a loaded cube about halfway through the process of finishing the cube, and you'll see that the slugs have been added to certain spots in the dice so that they're heavy and they go to the bottom, and the number that's weighted goes to the top.
Joseph must also explain to the heads of the casino when it's a legitimate loss and when they're being scammed.
My job, as I see it, is to make the chairman of the board and the president of this gaming division sleep at night, so that when we lose a huge amount of money, $10 million in sometimes in one play. If it was a theft, you'd expect to see this and this and this happen. Well, those things didn't happen. So in some cases now, my job is not to tell them what did happen, but what didn't happen, so that we know that the play was on the square, we lost our money. We're in the gambling business, pal. This is what it is.
By knowing all of the angles, George Joseph has turned cheating at Bally's into more trouble than it's worth. Coming up next, behind the scenes with the Las Vegas Showgirl, and on the beat with the Vice Squad.
You gotta stop right there. Good girl. Today, I'm giving my daughter her first driving lesson. I'm Howard Simpson, auto insurance expert for Liberty Mutual. Teenagers are more likely to have an accident than anyone else. That's why I volunteer to teach kids road safety long before they get their license. Let's go, let's go. Whether it's teaching kids in high school or training professionals, we do whatever it takes to make roads safer.
Liberty Mutual. It's more than insurance. It's insurance in action.
You're never too old to learn.
Jailbreak!
Hello, OnStar.
Well, my Montana's been stolen.
The rugged Montana with OnStar, so we can track your vehicle if it's stolen.
Thought you boys would never get here. Thank you, OnStar.
Never seen a minivan do that before.
Maybe it's not really a minivan.
Track down a rugged Montana. Get 0.9% APR financing with 42.23 average finance savings. Other restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
My lawn is really my pride and joy. I know it's weed-free. I know it's dandelion-free. I do it by using Scott's Turf Builder Plus 2. The light granule sticks to that wet leaf much easier than a heavy granule, which would fall off. It doesn't stick. It just doesn't work. I think it's the greatest product ever made.
Intel Pentium 4 processor, the center of your digital world.
Made from only fresh oranges, not from concentrate. Bursting with all the goodness of life. Tropicana Pure Premium.
Monday on TLC, the race is on to build the biggest, baddest speed machine the junkyard has ever seen.
Really obnoxiously loud.
With engines revving and tempers flaring.
If we're babysitting each other, we're never going to get it done.
The two teams have to get it in gear. And in these rusted rockets, one mistake could spell disaster.
Oh my God!
Hot Rods on the next Junkyard Wars, Monday at 8 on TLC. They're on the run, under the influence, in a rage, and behind the wheel. Look out for the world's worst drivers. Then, fireballs and firepower.
Steady yourself for the biggest blast ever caught on camera, the world's most powerful explosions, and the implosion of one of the largest structures ever leveled, the Seattle Kingdome. Brace yourself for impact, Friday at 8 on TLC.
The surest way of luring gamblers into the casinos has always been expensive, elaborate shows. From Las Vegas's inception as a gambling town, the hotels attracted people to their casinos by presenting the most fabulous singers and dancers. People came from all over to check out this town in the desert. The casino's biggest draw was the Topless Showgirl Revue. Featuring lavish sets and spectacular costumes. Soon, however, the term Las Vegas Showgirl implied more intimate exchanges. But today, the reality of a showgirl's life is much different.
Right, you go to here, and then you do the turn, and you do that, and then you do the point.
World-renowned choreographer Jerry Jackson has directed the showgirls at the Tropicana's Les Folies Bergères for over 20 years.
The movie Showgirls, I think, set us back quite a bit, maybe 20, 30 years. It made them out to be mean, competitive, sexual animals that had no ethics and no morals. That hasn't been my experience. The
Folies Bergères dancers are highly trained and sometimes highly educated. Showgirl Vicki Pedersen is a writer pursuing her master's degree in education.
I initially became a showgirl in order to get through college. I thought, oh, this is a great after-school job. And after I graduated from college, I did try to get a, quote, normal job. And normal jobs don't pay the type of money that I was accustomed to. So I came back. The possibility of becoming a showgirl was only there because I grew up in Las Vegas, and if you're a tall adolescent girl growing up in Las Vegas, you don't get, oh, you should be a model. But more often than not, oh, you should be a showgirl.
A showgirl's performance has always required special skills to achieve an elegant grace and glamour.
A showgirl walk. It's not something you can get on stage and just do. You have to be trained how to hold yourself, how to stand, in your posture. In the walk itself, you've got 30 pounds sometimes of extra weight on your head that your neck is supporting, and somehow you have to find a way to balance that gracefully so that nobody knows that there's 30 pounds on your head. Only you know that.
While Les Folies Bergères looks to the past, the MGM Grand takes audiences on a wild ride into the future. In EFX, the special effects are unprecedented, even for Las Vegas.
Let the magic begin.
Step right up, come on in. There's a show that's about to begin.
The show includes effects-laden visits with P.T. Barnum, H.G. Wells, Harry Houdini, and Merlin the Magician. Costing over $70 million to stage, every feature of the show is fully automated by a NASA-designed computer system.
It's going to be up for a while.
Yes.
Okay.
Greg Letourneau supervises the production.
This is the show control system. Basically, it's a link between all the computers in the show, all the lighting computers, all of the sound, projection, pyrotechnics, flame, and smoke are all linked back to this console. In the performance, this move will happen 4 times during the show. You add in the dangers of happening in the dark, the fog, and the smoke, and with a cast of 70 and crew of 70 working around it, a big open hole. This is our main unit for our Merlin scene. This unit here that just came from the basement is 70,000 pounds of steel, foam, and 2 dragons. This happens every evening before our performances that we bring this unit up. We're going to do a hydraulic check, a flame check, a pyro check, just to make sure 2 dragons are ready and willing to perform the evening's functions.
For the final scene, ingenuity and state-of-the-art technology combine to create a memorable performance.
With all your heart.
I got it, Merlin! I got it!
Now, Arthur, now!
We did it, Merlin!
From the time-tested tradition of the Las Vegas showgirl to elaborate 21st century technology, entertainment in Las Vegas will continue to draw millions of people into the theaters and billions of dollars into the casinos. Next, we go undercover with the Las Vegas PD Vice Squad.
For tools to help your business better target audiences, design direct mailings, and effectively get new customers, visit USPS.com.
We're not the same company we were 10 years ago. In some ways we're older, other ways newer. Today we make 2 different car lines. We have more people, more resources. But there are things that haven't changed. Those are what make us different. Those are what make us Saturn.
Will she feel the same way if you lose your hair?
Sure. She'll just feel it about somebody else.
Don't worry, I love you. Anyway, you don't have to lose it.
Are you talking about Rogaine?
Rogaine? Maybe. Why not?
Rogaine. Yeah, why not? It's simple, it's safe, and it's clinically proven to help stop hair loss and regrow hair. Does she want you to use Rogaine? Better ask.
Claritin goes to bat for Mike Piazza.
Mike Piazza doesn't worry about sneezing. He doesn't worry about a runny nose or itchy, watery eyes. Because Mike knows that just one Claritin relieves all those things for 24 hours. Without making him drowsy, Claritin has a low occurrence of side effects such as headache, drowsiness, fatigue, and dry mouth, similar to sugar pill.
Just a walk in the park.
Talk to your doctor about Claritin.
Human courage. Chaos. Being.
Are you human?
Erupting, sliding, shaking, scurrying, swirling, shredding, smashing, and crashing onto TLC. At 8, it's the Ultimate 10 Natural Disasters.
It's just a repulsive thought.
Then we'll correct a dangerous tornado misconception.
People taking shelter under overpasses will be pulled right out of there.
And at 10, the Ultimate 10 Natural Wonders.
I actually think the most natural wonder of all is the fact that there is life.
An exhilarating evening of extraordinary television. Tonight on TLC.
When I was a kid, I was lively. So I want to do something really good for my mom this Mother's Day. I'm going to go to 1-800-Flowers.com. There's so much to choose from. See, that's something Mom would never buy for herself. 1-800-Flowers.com will take care of Mom.
Hey, Mom, what's this?
Now I know how much she deserves it.
Hi, I'm Jim McCann from 1-800-Flowers.com. Visit us online or call 1-800-Flowers today.
Everybody wants to do the pay-per-view. Watch it now. I'm gonna show you how. Don't wait, watch something great. Point, pick, and click. You got the power. More movies, more sports, more specials, more fun. Showtime's every half an hour. Do the pay-per-view. People put the power in the palm of your hand. In-demand pay-per-view from AT&T Broadband.
As it might to attract families, Las Vegas is still known as Sin City.
The Olympic Garden over here is a nice adults men's club. It's pretty sexy, pretty jazzy. See, we still have some of the good old stuff left in Vegas here. Strippers, dancers, something for the adults.
Probably isn't a city in the country that has the alcohol services, the sheer numbers that Las Vegas does. If you look in the Yellow Pages, for example, there's 107 full-page ads of nothing but alcohol entertainment services. They used to be called the escort services. Now it's called alcohol entertainment.
Prostitution is legal in parts of Nevada. There are currently 34 legal brothels or cat houses in operation. But within the city of Las Vegas, prostitution is definitely against the law. Illegal prostitution keeps Las Vegas Police Department Vice Squad Lieutenant Carlos Cordero and his undercover crew extremely busy.
Yeah, white pants, white top. She is one.
I'm there and I'm off. Hey, can I give you a ride or something?
I'm going home.
I was looking for company. Are you just walking or are you out here? Are you out here dating?
Is she getting in? She's getting in.
All right, she got in.
Good.
How much?
I mean, I don't want to outbid my son. I don't know, 20? 25? What?
All right.
All right, let me just cut through here. I'm a vice detective.
What's up, darling?
You're under arrest for soliciting prostitution, young lady.
You have anything on you we should know about?
Yeah, just take your hands.
Keep your hands, we can see them.
Come on out.
Go to him.
30-some-odd million tourists come to Las Vegas. Those tourists are attracted by a lot of things, but, to be frank with you, a lot of them come here, and they have that image of Vegas being wild and sinful, and everything goes here.
Prostitution has always been a part of Nevada. During a mining boom in the 1860s, prostitutes were the second largest group of working women after domestics. From the time Las Vegas became a city in 1905, prostitutes could be found in every house on one particular block in the municipality. It became known as Block 16, its designation on the city planning grid. Although not legal, prostitution was strictly regulated, and weekly medical checkups were required of all the women. In the 1930s, when gambling was legalized and Nevada was the easiest place in the country to get a divorce, Block 16 flourished. During World War II, however, the United States government shut Block 16 down, afraid that it would distract the soldiers stationed nearby. But prostitution in Las Vegas never went away. From strip clubs to escort services to streetwalkers, the sex industry is big business.
The lure of money is a great lure, and oftentimes that in and of itself is the reason why somebody will go over the line and create a criminal act. We get a lot of weekend warriors, as we label them, who are women that are not typically, they're not prostitutes, but they basically come into town to make money in prostitution for that weekend alone. We've arrested school teachers. We've arrested 2 sisters that were nurses, lots of college co-eds.
Jessie Winchester was a housewife and mother of 3 when she became a prostitute at one of Nevada's legal brothels. Now, she is a candidate for political office and an advocate for legal prostitution.
In the legal scene, you may have a few things in the bordellos that need to be fixed, as far as making it a little more equitable. But it's safe. You don't deal with pimps. You don't deal with disease. The state of Nevada regulates this business the same as it regulates any other business.
Just like the old days of Block 16, the women in Nevada's legal brothels must undergo medical checkups once a week. Street prostitutes, however, are not regulated. And an increase in cases of AIDS and HIV is an ongoing problem.
Brothels appear to be run pretty well. And the girls that work there, I don't think there's been any reported cases of HIV, and we certainly can't say that about the girls that work in the streets here locally.
And Winchester is campaigning hard to create respect for her former profession.
We're responsible citizens. We're contributing citizens. We pay income taxes. We have families. We're no different from anyone else. They are not the slutty street walkers that most of America envisions in their mind. One lady was an attorney. She just got fed up with being an attorney and could make as much in the houses as she made as an attorney.
But as long as prostitution is still illegal in Las Vegas, Cordero and his undercover cops will continue to make arrests. As the sex industry continues to draw visitors to Sin City. Coming up, the real Las Vegas uncovered, and a unique way to earn a souvenir.
And your Las Vegas gun store souvenir, sir.
Thank you very much.
Okay, class, we've got about a minute. Hey, Josh. Looks like you got braces, too. So, how did it go? Can you see any difference? I can't see them. Anyone else know? I don't think they can tell. Besides, these aren't for show and tell.
Introducing Invisalign, the invisible way to straighten your teeth without braces. For an orthodontist near you, call 1-800-INVISIBLE.
Qu'est-ce que c'est? Un nouveau cabriolet. Très rapide. Très beau. Une merveille de la technologie. Totalement irrésistible. Une voiture qui stoppe le trafic. Le nouveau cabriolet de Lexus. Parlez-vous désir?
Verizon Wireless National Single Rate. Just one low rate. Anytime, virtually anywhere. And now, on any national single rate plan starting at just $35 a month, get 2,000 weekend minutes a month with annual contract. Free. For life. With no roaming or long distance charges. Not now, not ever. All thanks to the largest nationwide wireless network. Verizon Wireless. Join in.
Budget has all these cool cars. Jaguars, Rangers.
Mustang convertibles. Oh, the Explorer for only $39.99. How come we let everybody know about that? We'll send out a chain letter.
$39.99. Send this letter to 7 friends or it's bad luck.
Let's forget the chain letter. Let's not.
The Explorer for $39.99 is a good deal. Yeah, it's terrific. It's terrific.
To help me explain TLC show Trading Spaces, the Flying Big Top Brothers and their neighbors Cyber Mike and Big T will redecorate each other's homes. The Big Top Brothers add their touch to Mike and T's room while they work on the Big Top.
Hey!
Word. When they return to their own homes, their rooms will have a beautiful new look. Hey! Trading Spaces, weekdays on TLC.
Monday on TLC. The race is on to build the biggest, baddest speed machine the junkyard has ever seen.
Really obnoxiously loud.
With engines revving and tempers flaring.
If we're babysitting each other, we're never going to get it done.
The two teams have to get it in gear. And in these rusted rockets, one mistake could spell disaster.
Oh, my God.
Hot Rods on the next Junkyard Wars. Monday at 8 on TLC. They're on the run, under the influence, in a rage, and behind the wheel. Look out for the world's worst drivers. Then, fireballs and firepower. Steady yourself for the biggest blast ever caught on camera, the world's most powerful explosions, and the implosion of one of the largest structures ever leveled, the Seattle Kingdome. Brace yourself for impact, Friday at 8 on TLC.
One of the fastest growing cities in the world, Las Vegas's population has doubled in 10 years and is expected to do so again in another 10.
Blink from Sky 3 and an empty piece of land becomes a housing development. Southern Nevada residential and commercial development is booming.
Proctor,
KVBC news anchor and reporter Gwen Castaldi has lived in Las Vegas since 1974.
And I came here when there were 200-some thousand people here. The city, of course, now is over 1.1 million. And if you can imagine, in your mind, 5,000 to 7,000 people moving here a month.
In the early days of casino gambling, the growth of Las Vegas corresponded with the growing influence of the mafia. Legal gambling was the draw for mobsters who wanted to operate legitimate businesses. And the middle of the desert was a perfect place for shady characters to relocate. The mafia ran the casinos until the late 1970s, when large corporations began to take over. In the mafia era, money was either laundered or hidden. It was never on the books.
The mob and various facets of the mob were involved in ownership and hidden ownership and skimming, etc., of some of the hotels. That all, of course, came to a head by the late 70s, early 80s, and now Las Vegas is much more strictly watched and it's cleaned up. There are major corporations running hotels.
Las Vegas's desert location appealed to other organizations as well. Like the mafia, the United States government had its own secrets.
For the first time in atomic history, America gets a ringside seat at a blast of its most awesome weapon on Yucca Flat, Nevada.
There are pictures of Las Vegas where you can see downtown Las Vegas, and in the background is a mushroom cloud. And people used to actually watch the tests. There was a light on Fremont Street, a red and a green light, that would tell them if an atomic test was going to go. The soldiers would be out there at the test site at various distances. And now, in the ensuing years, we found out some of them were at ground zero and were exposed to radiation.
For some of the participating troops, nearby Las Vegas offers an evening's entertainment, a distinct but equally stimulating change from the preparations for the atomic blast.
On the Strip, visitors are unconcerned with the city's explosive past, as they witness a different kind of a blast. The old Las Vegas giving way to the new.
And I miss a lot of the old Las Vegas. Just like when they tore down a lot of the old traditional hotels, the Dunes, the Sands, the Landmark. Every one of them, I cried. And I know lots of other Las Vegans cried because they have memories there.
But as more hotels are built, there will be more jobs for casino workers and more people moving to Las Vegas. There will also be more gambling and more money. And dreams of money is what attracts people to the city.
My initial goal when I came out was to be James Bond. I thought the casinos were going to be my private bank account that I would withdraw money anytime I wanted to, and of course I would be some sort of an international hero.
Las Vegas's reputation for romance almost equals that of gambling. Every day, 300 people get married at one of the city's many wedding chapels.
There's probably about 37 wedding chapels on the Strip, not counting the ones in the casinos. Motels with adult channels and everything, I guess that's a learning process. After you get married, you go to one of them motels at night. Las Vegas because it really has everything. Everything from fishing to skiing to gambling to entertainment to sex, everything. I mean, it's here. Las Vegas is here.
We've got sporting rifles here, semi-automatic, all of these, some stocks and some magazines to support that endeavor. And down here is the kingpin of our rentals, the machine guns, or submachine guns, if you will. They fire pistol cartridges. They are full automatic weapons.
Well, me and my girlfriend are in town from California, and she's out at the hotel just laying out by the pool. And I've always wanted to shoot a gun, so one of my friends told me about this place, and I just decided to come and try to check out a machine gun and see if I could shoot a round or two.
Sure. Have you shot one of these before?
No.
Okay, we'll go through it. Line the sights up like any rifle. Lean forward. Get aggressive. Lean forward. And your Las Vegas gun store souvenir, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Not too bad for first time.
I love that in Las Vegas you can be whatever it is you want to be. I mean, I think it's maybe the last place in America where you can truly live out that American dream. And a lot of times it brings out who you really are as a person.
I had someone die at my table once, and that in itself is shocking enough. But what transpired after this, and while this was all going on, I mean, the gentleman just hit the floor on a dice table in the middle of a big roll. We obviously call paramedics, but it wasn't 3 or 4 minutes till people were screaming at the table to let the dice go and finish the game.
It was such a combination of all kinds of diverse things that came together in like a magic potion to make Las Vegas what it is.
Even as Las Vegas continues to grow and change, everything still revolves around money. For money is, and always will be, the lure. Because in the secret world of Las Vegas, there is always a chance that one's dreams and fantasies will come true overnight. And you can't win if you don't play.